Hi, my name is Johan,
And my name is Scott.
and we're here to stop racism. We are here doing our TED Talk on racism.
Racism is prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race, based on the belief that one's own race is superior.
Racism has been around this country and the world since the 18th century. People like African Americans, Mexicans, Asians, and Muslims were affected by racism all throughout history.
This is an example of our essays. Racism is a sin in our world. It's been a long road from the beginning of slavery to now.
If an article I was reading and talked about black people in the Great Depression. The Great Depression started in 1929. During this time, people all over the world lost their jobs during the Great Depression. And unemployment. The majority of the people who lost their jobs in the U.S. were black people, sadly.
This led to poverty of most blacks and made them do gut-wrenching jobs. Families were struggling to support their kids with food and basic needs.
Yeah. Another story that we found interesting is the Scottsboro Boys, when a group of African American boys who got accused of rape when two girls screamed in a train. Then the older kids were sent to death row to get electricity, and the younger brothers was sent to jail for the rest of their young lives. During this time, since racism was a big problem, if Americans did something, it would go really bad for them, and it would be horrible. Especially if it's towards a white person, they were most likely to die or go to death row or get sent to jail for life.
As we read the book, To Kill a Mockingbird, we saw how racism and discrimination the city of Macomb has been to Tom Robinson, as he was on trial for rape and what does that say?
Wait.
Right here. Supposedly did against Mayella Ewell.
As he was getting called guilty, there were people cheered and every even though he should have been innocent, and sadly only his family and the French family only knew that he was innocent for life.
As we live in California, we see a lot of diversity and acceptance, but it is not like that anywhere, especially in the South states and other side of the country. Too bad it's a country who hate a lot. I couldn't go. That has to judge someone. If this don't look like them, that's the problem about this country.
In my eyes, growing up in a diverse city and state, I've never seen racism in my life until someone, usually in the movies and mainly, it's all on the other side of the country. It's incredible how diverse and amazing California is, and it's getting really hated on because they don't allow races, and we are not all whites like in Montana.
One was we could. Once we could all beat racism is spreading awareness is
Oh my god. Hashtag stop racism.
Hashtag stop racism. Or just be nice to someone. Stop hate.
Hate causes everything bad in this world. It's basically a sin in my eyes. If someone spreads hate, move away from the block and the hatred that would pretty much bring your sadness and hate towards your life. Even though I may look white, but both of my parents were born in Mexico, but all my cousins look average Mexicans. And this one time when I went to a store, my older cousin who is older, when we're walking out, a white lady just came up to me saying, stop hanging out with him, he's bad at insulin. And that's when I saw racism with my eyes.
Another way of stopping racism is to keep all your heartfelt opinions to yourself. And just mind your own business, keep your mouth shut, and be a good person. Don't hate or people for anything, just keep your mouth shut and worry about yourself.
In 2019, there's still a lot of terrible racism acts. One of the stories is about police brutality and how they treat African American people terribly wrong. Another story is the border wall situation with ICE, going around the country, bringing people out from the U.S. and doing terrible stuff like putting kids and mothers and keeping them in a waiting room and they're crowded, and keeping them in cages and separating newborns from babies. I feel that racism is a big part of that. All the terrible things that to do with innocent people and kids just living their life.
The point of our presentation is to spread awareness toward other people's lives about how they know what racism is.
And from that point, we pretty much have to be better people. So, yeah, better people, I guess. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah, okay, well, 4, 6, 57, 58, 59, 60, 6 minutes.